Bum 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 bum.
Now that we've seen how personal hygiene helps prevent food contamination and foodborne illness, let's look at Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is about food safety hazards. Remember, a hazard is anything that can cause illness or injury. Poor hygiene can lead to food contamination, and all staff must be aware of their hygiene at all times and report any hygiene issues to their supervisor. Most hygiene hazards are from the food becoming contaminated either by unhygienic food handlers or unhygienic work areas and equipment. Some hygiene hazards can lead to food poisoning and even death. Personal hygiene hazards include poor personal grooming, open cuts or wounds, not washing your hands, or working while you're sick. Some environmental hygiene risks include poor garbage handling procedures, inappropriate cleaning of equipment and utensils, poor storage of food, or storage areas that are dirty because of vermin infestation, or dust and dirt, or are the wrong temperatures, a dirty work area, contaminated food, linen that has been contaminated by human waste such as blood and body secretions, or by contaminated food. Other hazards include not following the food safety program, or not following the cleaning schedule. This is what you need to do to minimize any personal hygiene hazards. Always maintain the highest level of personal and environmental hygiene. The employee, that's the worker, has the responsibility for eliminating and controlling many of the hygiene hazards, such as emptying the garbage and washing their hands afterwards, checking the packaging and temperature of meat deliveries, storing it quickly and at the correct temperature, and reporting any problems with the packaging or temperature to the supervisor. Employees need to clean and sanitize all surfaces that may come into contact with food. Employees need to be diligent in observing the temperatures of cool rooms, fridges, and freezers. If you have any personal health issues, if you have an illness like vomiting, diarrhea, or fever, or if you have contaminated any food because of your illness, report it to your supervisor and do not handle any food. Also, if you see an area that has a hygiene risk, report it to the supervisor and clean it if you can. Gloves are not required according to the Food Standard Code, but in many situations, using tongs or spoons might be a better choice. Gloves must be removed, thrown away, and replaced with a new pair before handling food, especially when handling ready-to-eat food after touching raw food, or after using the toilet, sneezing, eating, drinking, or touching the hair or body. All businesses that sell food are required to have a food safety program. Food safety programs are designed to keep food safe. This is done by identifying the hazards and controlling them. Food safety programs must include identifying the potential hazard, identifying where and how each hazard will be controlled, having a system to monitor those controls, having corrective action if that hazard is not under control, having a regular review of the program by the food business, and keeping records for the food business as well. HACCP is a food safety program that is used in many places. HACCP stands for Hazard Analysis at Critical Control Points. If we break this down, we can see that a hazard is something that can cause illness or injury, and analysis is a careful examination. So, hazard analysis is a careful examination of the hazards. Critical means very important. Control is the ability to change something, and a point is an individual part of something. So, critical control points are important points in the process where the food handler can change the hazard. Critical control points are all of those points throughout the food production process where food can become contaminated and the food handler can control it. These are the critical control points in a typical food production process. This sample HACCP plan explains the temperature limits that are required throughout the food production process. All of the kitchen workers need to be aware of the correct temperatures and storage areas for food and understand how to prevent contamination. Now let's check to see what you've learned in this module. Click on the link and you will be taken to an online quiz. Enter your name and the access code. You will be given 30 minutes to complete the quiz. The results will be sent to the teacher. Congratulations! You have completed Lesson 2 and have learned about the hygiene hazards and how they impact on food safety. Please proceed to Lesson 3 to learn about the legislation that is made to keep our food safe.